Okay, live on a Monday. Whew, waking up. Yeah, I forgot to put the thumbnail up to give you guys the notification. So hopefully, I'm going to give it a couple minutes for you guys to come on in. Welcome to a Monday. I wanted to have a brief conversation this morning about. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm going to talk this morning about messaging. Hey, Bill, how are you? I forgot to put the thumbnail up for the notification, so I'm just coming in and waiting for everybody. I hope you got some rest. And that is such a great show. Bill was at the Lansing Home and Garden Show, and it's really, really a wonderful show. So bummed it. I had to miss it. And I ended up with a bout of food poisoning. Well, I don't know if it's food poisoning because I made the dinner. I knew what I cooked, all high quality ingredients, and my daughter and her friend did not get sick. So I'm not really sure if it was food poisoning, but I've also been hearing like these weird, like people are experiencing, it's sort of like a one and done, like spend a couple of hours vomiting and then you're fine. And that was about where I was with that. Hey, Kenny, how are you? Good morning, Wicker. Nice to see you. Thanks for jumping in, you guys. Yeah, I apologize for not getting you guys the notification, but here we are. Good morning. Everybody's rolling in. Grow Big, nice to see you. Bohemian, nice to see you as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button when you come in. Would appreciate that and appreciate you sharing. So yesterday on the Sunday Night Live, we had a big talk about inflammation and where it comes from. Hey, Rebel, nice to see you. Yeah, I know, Kenny, I didn't actually put the stream up. I mean, it's like, I got off the call last night. I just went straight to bed. That food poisoning kind of took me down a little bit. So here we are. So thanks for being here. Yeah, isn't that weird? So I don't know what that is, Rebel. And I've had multiple people say to me, "Oh yeah, no, it's not food poisoning. It's like some weird like one and done thing." So so resetting from that is a great idea, but I wanted to go into spin-off of what we talked about yesterday. Our show yesterday was about inflammation. Where does it come from? How do we know we have it? Why do we get it? How can you recognize it? Which I was on with Dr. Ron Boggs, and we had said that we were here just to scratch the tip of the iceberg with inflammation because it's a massive, massive subject. And but we said at the end of it, we were like, we just looked at the iceberg like that. We didn't even get close enough to scratch it because inflammation is such a huge, huge topic. And the big takeaway, I would say for me, and if you were on the call last night and you have a takeaway, please let me know. But the big takeaway for me was that we have to give you the overarching ways that you can control your own environment. So your internal environment, from the food you eat, the things the fluids that you put into your mouth, your external environment. Are you your body care products, the things that you're putting in your air, whether it's candles or Glade plugins, things like that, perfumes, dyes, things like that. So start controlling what you can control, because I was also talking about how in a lot of my videos so one of the videos in particular is it talks about chlormequat, which is a chemical in oats that they've been finding in oats, and that the FDA doesn't regulate it not being in our oats here in the U.S. It's been removed from European sources, but not here in the U.S. And so I had and Uncle Al tells me it was a bot that was going around my page that was like just attacking my videos, being the anti whatever I was saying in the video, saying things that were almost unintelligible. And I was like, you need to go troll somewhere else. Said I was alarmist by talking about chlormequat because the number was so little in the oats. And this is where I have to empower you to say, you can look at that. You can isolate that out. Oh, by the way, I finally just blocked him off the page. But you can isolate out, you can say, oh, it's not that much. It's not that much. So why is she making such a big deal out of it? Now, none of you guys have done that, because I think you all know where I'm coming from, as I'm trying to get you to understand all the obvious sources around your in your world, internally and externally, as well as then the non-obvious sources. So a lot of people wouldn't have thought that, right? So we have to look at all those sources, and that's where I'm here to bring you that information. Yeah, are the bots going hard lately? I don't know. I guess that was, I don't know, it may have been my first or second bot attack. When you go to a page and you see like 0 subscribers, you're like, that's got to be a bot, right? I'm usually in bed at yes, I really, yeah. No, I wasn't kidding. I was sound asleep by 9:15 last night. Yeah. So, I mean, I wrapped it up and I was like, I'm out. I still had to eat dinner though. I made a beautiful chicken soup. I know I'm going off topic, but I have my local organic chicken. I threw that into my Instapot with some water, a hard squash that was from my garden from last summer, a bunch of onions and carrots, some herbs, some sea salt. And I cooked it for about 2 hours in the Instapot, and it made the most beautiful broth. And then I took the chicken and I put it into a pot on the stove with onions and garlic and carrots and the chicken. And that's all. So that's all I had was the broth with the vegetables, and had a bowl of that. I have a cold laser for pain, but I did a digestive setting on my cold laser on my belly, went to bed, and I feel amazing. So it's all good. So I say this about this bot person, whatever, to say that the poison is in the dose. So you have to pay attention to all of the sources, because it's kind of like when, if you're taking a medication and they say, oh, here's the side effects, but they're very rare. But then you take a second medication and that one has side effects and they're very rare. So whether over the counter, Tylenol, things like that, or whether it's a prescription drug, when you put two things together like that, you now can't say that, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio anymore. It becomes exponential. So when you start, this is a chemistry experiment inside your body. And so when you start adding things in, and when they're tested, they're isolated for the effects in the body. But then when you bring them together, now there's not testing for cross-reactivity like that. So you have to be open to recognizing, even if it's a 1,000th of a percent in this, and it's a tenths of a 1,000th, I don't know how to say that, over here, it just will keep building up in your body. And we know that toxins cause disease. We absolutely know that, because we see that in areas of high pollution, where there's toxic chemicals in the air, in the water. We see that. It's very, very well known. It's very well documented. Aaron Brockovich, that's a true story. And that is not an isolated story. That is a story that happens all over our country, probably all over the world, but I'll just say all over our country right now. So it kind of did sound like a real person because of what he was saying, but I don't know. I don't care. I blocked him anyway. He doesn't get to hang out with the cool kids. Okay. Yeah. And getting harassed for doing something right. And I remember a few years ago, it was snowing, and I went out with my shovel and I had my assistant record me, and I did a video on safe snow shoveling, how to protect your back, using your legs, how to stretch. And I posted that on social media. It might be on my YouTube channel somewhere. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And like, people attacked me. They were like, oh yeah, like taking advantage of a snowstorm to do a video about yourself or something like that. Fortunately, my audience popped in and was like, dude, she's just trying to help people. Like, yeah, get off her case, right? I mean, but there's people that just go around and do this for no apparent reason. So, and I think you guys are pretty smart, and you're going to know when somebody comes in and opposes something that makes sense to you. You don't always have to have the answer. That's what I always say. You don't have to have the answer. You don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be a nutritionist. You don't have to be an engineer, whatever it is, to be able to say, you know what, that doesn't make sense. This also goes with people relationships, right? So if you're like, oh, I've had this happen so many times. People will say, oh, they, they're really like pumping up a certain person. Oh, they're amazing. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know. I've had a different experience. And then come to find out they're a sociopath. So, sort of a long story short of talking about a couple of different situations in my life. And that does not surprise me. Rebel food industry pays people to troll. Yeah, that would make total sense. Woke up at 1, up till 4, back out 30 minutes ago. That was you, Kenny? Did you get any sleep? Stick the boys on the, yes, I know. I need to just message you guys and go, hey, go over there and get this troll. Hey, Urban Gardening, nice to see you today. Yeah. Yes. You are all the cool kids hanging out with me. So thanks for being here. If you're not cool, you don't get to be here. So, yeah. I don't like to work with I don't like assholes. I think, if you don't like assholes, raise your hand. For the trolls, always lift with your back in a tree. You know what? That would be a great video, right? I think I need to do that. Yeah. Yes, discernment, listening to your gut. And of course, Bohemian, you had quite the experience with your health. And I think if I could make a little bit of a assumption, is that I think given you were going down the medical path, and by the way, Bohemian's allowed me to talk about her story. So, but you were going down the medical path and it wasn't getting you well, and you took matters into your own hands. You were like, this just, it doesn't feel right. There has to be a better answer. There has to be a better way. But you're being told, no, keep doing this because this is the way to do it, but it wasn't working. And I think too many people continue down that path thinking that they're being led properly. So really important that you start to pay attention, that if something isn't working, you got to tap out and you got to say, I don't know what the answer is here, but I know this isn't working. So I'm going to stop this and then I'm going to figure out what the right answer is. And don't feel it's okay if it's a person, place, thing, idea. It's okay to let go of those things because it's not serving you. So there's a few things going on right now with me, some people I'm dealing with, and I'm like, it's compromising me. It's compromising me, and I have some decisions to make. So I have to base these on the metrics that I'm feeling compromised in who I am, in my leadership, my ability to produce. It's not producing income. So why am I doing this? It's not producing joy. So yeah. So anyway, lots of things there. That's a whole different conversation. How dare I take advantage of snow? I know, isn't that terrible? Yeah. Rip, shred, and throw it away. I don't know. I mean, it's like you think of you're like, people, if you just focused on your own life and doing good, like, how much energy does it take to get on and criticize people and to troll around people's channels? Like, what is going on in your world that you have that time to go around and troll and watch people's videos and then say, I don't even know. I ain't got time for you. I'm just happy that there's a block button, right? Yeah. Block. Yeah. Crazy people out there. Yeah, I know. And listen, I did that stupid barium thing back in my 20s. I was having some digestive issue. They couldn't figure it out. Guess what? I was diagnosed with IBS, irritable bowel. What? I don't even know what that was. But then they didn't have an answer for it. They give you a diagnosis and they don't have an answer. And drinking that barium, oh my God. But I'm fine now, right? I fixed it myself, but really unknowingly. I just got rid of the shit in my world. Yeah, you have to be your own advocate for sure. Yes, if it doesn't bring you happiness or joy, like move along. Again, whether it's people, places, things, or ideas, it's gotta go. There's no room for that. Yeah. Yes. Thanks for commenting. Thank you. And hit your thumbs up button for sure. So, all right, it is 10 o'clock. I have people pulling up and you're right, Bill. It's so much easier. Like, don't hide behind an email, a text message. And let me just say this, be nice when you text people and you email them. Not that you're not nice, but if you don't say hello and thank you or have a nice day, and you just slide up, like, I'll give you an example. I responded to an email. I'm going to a birthday party in Florida, and I was told to RSVP. So I emailed this girl. I said, hello, how are you? I'm RSVPing. Thank you so much. She replied to me today, and it just says, have you RSVP'd? Now, I'm like, I don't know if that's a question. I don't know if that's a statement. Not thanks for RSVPing. Like, when you speak in fragments, no one knows what you're talking about. So be clear in your messaging and say please and thank you. All right. And that is, yeah, totally rebel. So that's my reset for you today. Be nice. Say hello, please, and thank you. Make others feel happy. Spread some joy. And if anybody is being negative to you, then get rid of them. They're not worth your time. So, all right, you guys, I got to run. Time to go heal the world. So thanks again for being here. I'll see you Thursday for Chiropractic is Sexy at 1:00. And then Dr. Boggs and I will be back next Sunday talking more inflammation. And we're actually going to talk about your household products, your body care products. So you're going to want to be on this show next Sunday. Get your list of things together. What are you using at home for hair care, for body care, soaps, lotions, anything like that, cleaning products? Get all that together because we're going to talk about it next week. Okay. What is this? I'm reading your Wicker. People have privacy rights. It's a public beach, right? Yeah. All right. And Bohemian, we're going to leave with this. Grateful for you all. Thanks, Dr. Paula, for everything. Fantastic advice. Have a great week. All right, you guys, have an incredible week. Love you so much. Thanks again for being here and for your engagement and supporting my channel. Please share it out. Hit the thumbs up button. Love you. See ya.